Okay, Summer, it's time for the European style. I'm so proud of you. You've been doing such a great job. You're welcome. Okay, pick up your knife and fork. We're cutting the same way as we cut in the American style, gracefully. Now in the European style, once you're finished cutting, what would you do with your right hand? So once you're finished cutting, we rest our right. Remember, we're in European style, yes. So you rest your right wrist and pivot that foot in your mouth. Let's do that again, please. And we're cutting. We're cutting, yes. You're finished cutting that piece. Rest the right wrist and pivot that portion in your mouth. Good. Let's cut one more time. Rest the right wrist and pivot. Beautiful. Now let's get some mashed potato or something soft on the back of your fork.
So I want to scoop it.
Scoop it onto the back. Rest the right wrist and pivot. Beautiful. Now the formal way to place rice on your fork is to still place it on the back of the fork, but we're going to give that extra push, yes, to make sure it gets between the tines and it sticks to the fork. That's the formal way of placing rice on the back of your fork, and you rest that wrist and pivot that portion in your mouth. Let's do that again, please. You're placing rice on the back of your fork. Rest that right wrist and pivot. Now, the informal way. Let's say you're home or you're at a family gathering and you just want a little more rice. You would turn the fork over, place it flat on the plate parallel to your body. Place that knife between your body and the fork. Yes, and then you would push it onto the fork. Beautiful job. Rest that right wrist and pivot that into your mouth. Let's do that again. Keep the fork in place. Rest that right wrist and pivot. Now let's do that transition again. Let's go back to the position where we were enjoying the rice formally. Right? Then we would scoop it onto the back. Make sure you get it between those tines. Good. Rest the right wrist and pivot. Now let's do the transition where we're doing it informally. Beautiful. Beautiful. Rest the right wrist and pivot. Now what's the pause position in the European style?
So we're gonna
The pause position? Yes. Now what's the finished position?
it's like this.
Okay, wonderful. Now what is the difference between the positioning of the fork in American style?
In American style, it's
Fork is upward, and in European style,
it's flipped over.
downward. Good job. Woo!